Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where in the form of Monochrome, Babymetal have released quite possibly one of the most efficient, effective and catchy metal singles you will ever hear. And yet, I can't help but have one lingering question stuck in my head. So let's get on with it. So let's jump in by talking about the basic stuff, make sure we're on the same page. What is this song Monochrome? Well, it's the second song to be released from the long-awaited, eagerly anticipated The Other One album by Babymetal. And you know, they kicked off these two songs with the song Divine Attack, which I pointed out at the time was exactly what I think we wanted them to start with. A nice safe bet single where we got to hear Sue's voice blasting, where we got to hear the fact that they were still anthemic and able to drop singles that people would really enjoy, and this was all backed up by the fact that they had announced that the album was going to be a concept album, meaning, you know, we know that there's more craziness in the bag, so it's fine, just start off with a good safe single. So what do we get with this song Monochrome? Well, we get a song that, again, as I pointed out, is effective, super catchy, has Sue's voice blasting through, and yet it is another very much safe single. Now, I can't deny, and I will get onto this, that this song is extremely effective. It is stuck irrevocably in my head probably for the rest of my life now. And that, I've pointed out before how I usually hate when bands do that, when they just do sing one line, they have an come back. And yet in this song, even though the first time I heard it, I was thinking, don't do that. By the time I heard it like 3 or 4 times, I was singing that along every single time. And as much as they do it in the song, it doesn't get irritating. Yes, a trick that Omaj and I failed at. So this was a song that just worked. It is working brilliantly, and I think it is great. Yet, it is that duality in that we are still at that point where we're saying to ourselves, okay, they're really delivering the effective singles, and they are very much keeping us on the hook about the fact that we are apparently getting an interesting concept album coming. And I have no doubt that's the case. It's just very interesting that the first 2 singles have been so efficient. And that's the thing, efficient rather than experimental. Now, as I did last time with Divine Attack, I'm going to take a few moments out just to not come across as too snobbish and point out that for all I'm saying, this is not to detract from the fact that in Monochrome, the song still does have some of its own unique factors, its own unique qualities. I mean, I really liked how that riff, when it comes in at the beginning, it sounds so simple, but it goes more into the effortless territory, and that it's using some nice, slightly irregular sort of spacings between the chords, so that it's, you know, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The chords help at different amounts of times, which gives it a bit of a trippy feel. It means that it manages to have a bit of complexity, a bit of longevity, without doing too much in the way of twiddling. Also, it can't be denied that there is just something wonderful about both the vocal performance and the way that we get one of those classic verse breakdowns where everything kind of goes nice and spaced out in the production to give you a little bit of time to, if you like, coil up the springs so that you're ready to really burst in with energy when the chorus is finally delivered. So this is not to say this song doesn't have qualities, and as I pointed out, not only is it stuck in my head, well, I should point out that I certainly see myself listening to this song quite a bit more. It will get onto a few playlists with me, pretty sure of that, but those playlists will mostly be things like extremely catchy metal. So given that I'm telling you this song is catchy, fantastically constructed, and definitely an earworm, rather than having criticisms, I've got to go back more to my original point, which is that I have question marks. I don't really think it's possible to complete the review of this song until I've heard the entire album. I really would need to know where it fits in contextually. See, I didn't really feel that I got anything from this song which was massively different from what I got in my enjoyment of Divine Attack. And that's absolutely fine. If you've got 2 extremely catchy and effective songs on a full-length album which has lots of different journeys in different directions, then you've got 2 songs that anchor it down and give you reliable places to return to between all the experimentations, which is something that a lot of experimental albums fail to do to their own detriment. So it is fair to say that this could be a very positive sign. However, it could also be the sign of an album that isn't going to do many of the things that maybe some of us are hyped up for, with the idea of it being a concept album. Now, as I say, I'm not making a comment either way on that because I literally don't know. None of us do, and that's actually making it kind of exciting to hear what the eventual album sounds like. And I certainly do hope that my former assumption is the correct one. However, I'm listening to this at the moment, just enjoying it as a song on its own, and trying to just sort of hope that the upcoming album will have a lot of experimentations on, because the thing is that as effective as this song is, and boy is it effective, I would say that the one thing it's lacking is anything new, anything we haven't heard before. As I said, the things that make it so catchy are its efficiency, its ability to use, I'm not going to say tropes, but techniques that have been so reliable both for them and other catchy metal songs in the past. Trying not to get run over, very important thing to do when recording a review outside. It's a song that has an ability to use established ideas, but is bringing more the experience of good song structure, song constructors and good performers, rather than bringing any new ideas of its own that we haven't heard before. It's a perfection of something familiar rather than a innovation by people who we know can innovate. What the hell is that music? That's just weird. Anyway, so yes, it's a song that in its own right I think is great, and as I pointed out, I'll be listening to a hell of a lot more. But it is a song that leaves me with that lingering question mark of what the other one will be, especially considering the amount of time we've waited for it to come out. I have no judgments on that at the moment. I do certainly have a lot of anticipation though. I'm kind of intrigued that we're 2 songs in and yet anticipation is still the feeling I have. A sense of awareness of what the album will be is something that I absolutely do not have, and I am just on tenterhooks to see what comes next. I still think there's a good possibility that a band which have such efficient branding as these guys, they're just releasing the catchiest songs first. That is entirely possible, but we have no way of knowing. So, I'm going to say now, it's time for a conclusion. Actually, in all honesty, I think that kind of was a conclusion. So I'm going to pass it back to you guys, and I'm going to say it is time for you to tell me what you thought. I'd be surprised if anyone disliked this song, because as I point out, it doesn't really do anything that could be disliked. It's just efficient. So I'm very interested to see what you guys think. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, Bright Staircase. Ciao, ciao.